We're going to wrap up this section looking at some useful strategies. Based on patterns, if we see a sine to a power times a cosine to a power, say dx, then if one of them has an odd power, that's your du. And then we replace what's left for that trig function using the Pythagorean identity sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x is equal to 1. If we see an even power, or I should say all even powers, then we're going to use a power reducing formula a lot of the time. And remember, the power reducing formulas look like the cosine squared of x is equal to 1/2 times 1 plus the cosine of 2x, or the sine squared of x is equal to 1/2 times 1 minus the cosine of 2x. They're almost identical, just with a minus for the sine function. If we have an integral of a tangent to a power times a secant to a power, again, say dx, then if we have an even secant, then we're going to use that the secant squared of x dx is equal to du and work from there. If we see an odd tangent, then we're going to use that the secant of x times the tangent of x dx is equal to the du, whatever variable of integration we actually have. And oftentimes we're going to convert using the Pythagorean identity 1 plus the tangent squared of x is equal to the secant squared of x. As we saw in a previous video, the integral of the tangent of x dx is equal to the natural log of the absolute value of the secant of x plus c. And I'll take a moment now to say that the integral of the secant of x dx is equal to the natural log of the absolute value of the secant of x plus the tangent of x plus c. The way this works is if we start out with the secant of x and then multiply and divide by the secant of x plus the tangent of x, and of course dx, then that becomes the integral in the numerator of the secant of x times the tangent of x plus the secant squared of x, and in the denominator, the secant of x plus the tangent of x dx. You can verify that if we let secant of x plus tangent of x be u, then the numerator plus dx will become our du. The integral of du over u is the natural log. Finally, don't forget substitution and integration by parts. Be calm. Keep trying. It's not always the case that the first thing that you try is the correct thing, but with practice, you start to make some connections, and then things become a bit easier.